I know, it's quick. It goes like live immediately.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we are live. And I look all pixelated for some reason that I don't know.
You do look a little pixelated, yeah.
Interesting. Oh, now, because I look fine over here. Hi, guys. Sorry, well, I trying to figure out why you can't figure out. Oh, boy. We are learning a new system right now.
We are. You can see both of our faces. This is new.
Okay, I don't know if that's going to help at all. I cleaned our little webcam. I don't know if that will cause anything to happen. But I look fine in the StreamYard.
Yeah.
I don't think you can clear here, but I look super blurry over on YouTube.
Yeah. Maybe it's the internet. I'm not sure.
Well, there's a thunderstorm out there right now. Oh, thank you. Kristen's the sweetest.
I know.
Monday's coming up. It's on September 4th, right? You tweeted earlier. That's why I remember that, because there's a live stream I'm doing for Classically Cozy Conversations, and she tweeted it was her birthday. So happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm glad you can at least see us, because we had no idea like we did a little test yesterday to see like this new way to live stream, because we can no longer use Google Hangouts. And then, yes, I tried for 4 hours to do like that encoder thing that YouTube wanted you to do, and about ready to rip my hair out. But, and then miraculously, someone mentioned the StreamYard. So I'm glad that we have this option, because it is very similar to Google Hangouts. You don't need all this extra stuff to go live. Like, you need to like 3 different programs for the encoder. And I'm like, no.
As I'm like still trying to set things up, I was like, can I make this less blurry?
It does look a little better. So
okay.
I think maybe it just could be either internet or proximity. I don't know if you have like an Ethernet cord where you can plug in directly to your router, but
I don't know what that means. We've had this conversation before where you're like, they'll say something. I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. It's like the people on the phone are like, oh, tell me where, like, what cord goes where. I'm like, it's a black cord. I don't know aside from that. Like, that's what it is. It's a black cord.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know what that means.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that was so funny. Okay, so I do have a question for you, Angela. On your side of StreamYard, do you see the comments coming in from YouTube?
I do. We see Kristen.
Awesome.
It makes it non-wireless.
It makes it non-wireless. Yeah, it's a cable that you plug directly into your computer to your modem. So yeah.
I don't know where the little dinging noise was coming from. I turned everything off, I promise.
That's what happens when your phone is connected to your Mac and everything dings even though you have notifications off. And I'm trying to center myself. Hi.
I know, now there's no hiding. I mean, not that we were hiding in the first place, but before, if there was ever a moment of, oh, the dog needs attention, or, oh, I dropped my, whatever, my pen, notes, something, it would just immediately go to you because you'd be talking. And now we have split screen the entire time.
Yep. You get to see both of our faces all the time. So you're welcome. But thank you so much, Lady Gizmo, for coming. I'm glad that you can see us both and this is working. So, and Kristen is saying that you are clear now, so I love it.
I mean, everyone needs to give Nicole like a giant round of applause because she is the one who figured this out. The other day I was tired and then she's like, oh, we lost Google Hangouts. And then I was going, okay, let me try and figure this out. And I spent about an hour and could not get past the encoding situation. And then this beautiful woman spends hours figuring it out and she got it. So just praise to you.
Yes.
We're not here right now if it was not for this beautiful woman. We would not be here.
You're so sweet. Thank you. My husband did help. We were both, we figured out like the encoder. It's just like a software that you have to download. And I did figure it out, like how to do the encoder and then how to make it like a group. You have to like, it's just all, I figured it out, but now this is so much easier. So I'm like, plan B, we're going this way.
Well, because the encoder you recommended, I stopped because it was like, you downloaded it from the internet. We don't know. We can't open this. And I just kind of went, okay. And just kind of like went right along to the next link where she's like, oh, just change your system preferences. And I didn't think to do that. So it was just this whole big hullabaloo. So praise be to you.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you just have to go into, because with Macs, they don't like anything downloaded not from the App Store. So Kristen's like, just the word encoding stresses me out. I know. To the live, I was like, what does encoder mean? What is that? So I just clicked on learn more. Tell me about it, YouTube.
Meanwhile, I'm like in bed pulling the blanket above my head like I'm going away and hiding right now. I couldn't do it. It scared me.
Yeah, it took several hours to, find out everything you had to do to get a group live stream, because the webcam is super easy, like the webcam live stream, but you can't bring a person in. So I had to figure out, you really had to do the encoder, and then you can go through Skype into the encoder, but you needed a plug-in. I'm like, why do I have to download 3 things to go do a live stream? Why?
Because
I'm glad that this is here and it's easier and you can see us and we're talking and this is just, Angela is still blurry. Can Nicole help fix it? I probably could if I was in Washington, D.C., but I am not.
I honestly don't know why, because on my end, I can see in the YouTube link that I look blurry, but if I go to the StreamYard one, I look crystal clear. So I have no idea where the discrepancy is coming from.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I could think of is that it's the internet, and just because you have some storms in your area, it could be interfering.
Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear the thunder right now. I mean, there's flashes of light going off right now. So I don't know if that's interrupting this live stream at all, making it blurry.
Yeah, it could possibly be, because because do you have Wi-Fi in your building, or do you have like a router and modem in
I have one for like my individual apartment. Like everyone has to have their own. But I mean, mine is usually fine and it works great.
Like Gizmo has like the airplane going. Like I'll just run over.
Yeah, send her here to fix my life and everything. No, I mean it's literally. I mean it looks like a lightning show outside right now. I mean there's background noises and everything. So I'm gonna go with it's the weather.
It will probably go in and out. Like a few minutes ago, you were clear, and now it's probably just going to be a fluctuation. I mean, it's not sunny here, but it's definitely, I'm not having any kind of storms. So it's just different weather, I think.
So it's not even acknowledging on the weather app. Okay. So yeah, I got the little cloud with the little lightning. I'm trying to figure out when it's supposed to end. But it's not giving me an hourly breakdown, so we'll figure this out. But yeah, even my weather app is saying lightning. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad that we're here and we're talking about this wonderful book. Who all has read it?
I know. This is the thing. Like, I was so excited that we were able to make this work because I'm going, this is a great book, and I'm so happy to get to chat about it.
I know. I just finished it literally 30 minutes ago.
So you haven't had time to decompress.
Well, I read some of it yesterday, but then I read most of it today. I think I was in the Kindle. It shows you the percentage, and I think I was at like 40% yesterday, and so I read the most today. So it's fresh in my mind. I got it. And I have so many highlighted quotes in like the Kindle app. I'm just like, I love this.
I love this book so much, you guys. I think I've told this story before. I mean, I know Nicole knows this at this point, but I met Lorraine Heath for the first time at KissCon, and she was just so sweet and so approachable, and I'm not the most outgoing person, and so she was just so nice to me that I was like, I appreciate you as a human being. And so because I liked her as a person, I was like, I now need to go read everything you've ever written because I like you, therefore I need to go support you in what you're doing. And so this is the first book of hers that I read, and I've reread this. I'm on 4 or 5 rereads now. I just keep coming back to it. Like, this was the first from her, and it's my favorite from her. And I just love everything about this book. And so I was so excited. You're like, executive decision made. I was going, yes. And then when you said you like this book, oh, my heart, this just made me so happy. Day, week, month made. We're good.
Yeah, I loved it. And this is my first Lorraine Heath book as well. And I was really excited that there was a series because jumping to the end, there's like some little things in there that hint to other people getting their happily ever afters. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna dive right on in spoilers. Okay,
Spoiler filled, guys. Spoiler filled.
So our protagonist, our hero, one of our protagonists, Lee Raven, he has a sister, and I wanted this woman to get her spinoff in the worst way. And and Lorraine Heath took me out to dinner when I was at RWA, and I was trying to be so calm and nonchalant and cavalier and go, oh, are you gonna read her story? She goes, oh, I don't have it in the works. No, I'm not thinking of one. I was going, could you? I'm
what?
like, could you read her story? I was trying to be so calm, but like, could you please?
There's like 6 books in this series, and you're telling me she doesn't get a book? Oh my!
That's why I was trying to be like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Are you gonna maybe write this book?
Lorraine, Miss Heath, please, for the love of God.
But I mean, I love that side story. I mean, someday I'm like, I love you, Lorraine. Please do this for me. She needs her story. She needs her own happily ever after. This needs to be a thing.
Does. She deserves it.
But that's what I mean. Like, I was convinced, like you, that she was gonna get her own spinoff, and then I realized she didn't. I was so sad.
Man, that hurts my heart. Hurts my heart. Hurts my shipper heart.
Yes, Miguel. He needs his own.
Yes, Lady Gizmo is agreeing. Juanita and Miguel need a happily ever after. Yes, yes.
I know. I honestly, I really enjoyed this book, so I'm really excited to see what the comments are, what you think of it. I mean, I'm just really excited for this chat, even though I just totally dove right on into that little spoiler again. But yeah, someday.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I loved it too. Honestly, I couldn't point out one thing that I didn't like about it, you know? And so it's like, I loved everything about it. I loved our hero. I loved our heroine, you know, I loved our heroine. She's so feisty.
Me too.
I love her so much. Oh.
Well, I mean, immediately, so she has the same name as me, Angela. You know, my mom named me Angela. Obviously, I know saying this. So I was like, oh, Lorraine Heath, you named a character after me. I'm happy. Life complete. Obviously, she didn't name it after me. But I was so excited I had something in common with the heroine. And so I was excited from the get-go. And then I fell in love with her personality and just her character in general. I'm going, oh, thank you for representing the name Angela so well. Thank you.
Great. She did not like let her blindness become like like hold her back. Like she did not at all. She knew her town. She got around very, very well. And even in a situation when she was first taken by Lee, she didn't know where she was, any kind of surroundings, but that did not stop her from exploring or when she could, or, you know, getting to know her surroundings. You know, it's just because as you don't have your sight, your hands are basically your eyes. So you definitely have to get to know everything by touch. And so one of my favorite things is when she like nearly shot or she did shoot Lee because I was just like, she picked up that gun and she was going to fight for herself. I loved it.
I mean, I loved how it was incorporated into the story in regards to her wanting to see his face, know what he looked like. I mean, I liked how it was incorporated in so many different ways. The humorous side, the romantic side. I mean, my heart just all over the place. I mean, I love the fact that he rides out with her and it takes them way too long to realize she's blind. Because the whole premise is that Lee Raven takes Angela hostage because they're robbing a bank. And so he's like, oh, my face. She, you know, I can't have her telling the town what I look like. Let's take her, you know, with us and figure out later on what to do with her and what's going to happen. And so they take her hostage because they don't want her to relay the information. what he looks like with the name, because apparently it's just the name everyone knows, not his facial features. And so like, oh, we can't put the facial features with the name together. We can't have that happen. Let's take her with us. And then they ride out for a while. He tells her to go pick up firewood and wood. And so she's trying to feel around to pick up the wood. And eventually he goes, oh my goodness, she can't see. But it takes them a very long time because she's blind.
He's like, I literally took her for no reason. Like, yeah. He even said, like, I took her for no reason. She's blind. She doesn't know what I look like. Oh,
I mean, our premise is that he takes her so that she won't tell and be the witness. I'm like, she was never really a witness. But then he doesn't just let her go. So that's what I find interesting. He's like, no, I'm still keeping you. Really? Okay, sure. Let's see what happens next.
Sure. Keep her with you as one would. I mean.
Yeah, she's feeling around to pick up the wood, and he's trying to figure out why she wasn't at certain pieces. And he's trying to be analytical versus just realizing, oh, she doesn't really, she can't parse this out. Yeah, I mean, the poor thing.
Yeah. She was like feeling around, and her hand was out like to brace herself, and she's like picking up the sticks, and he's like, she's blind. Like, I did not even
time to realize that though. But I mean, it's funny because she still wouldn't tell him, and the fact that she was willing to go try and pick up firewood to prevent him from finding out, I just love her so much. I mean, she doesn't know where she is. She could literally walk anything. I mean, snake, a venomous snake could be there. Like, we don't know what the danger is, but she's like, yeah, sure, I'll go get you firewood. Like, she's going for it. This is why we love her.
Yep, she will literally do anything. She's not going to let her blindness hold her back. I love that.
Oh, the dog, he just knocked over books.
Oh my God. I heard the crash. I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
He was trying. So I have a pile of books on the floor from RWA. They were nicely in front of my bookcase. Now the pile is a pile on the floor, and he's trying to bury his treat in my books. Oh.
You can't bury him in the ground, so he's doing the next best thing.
Apparently, I do need to go buy another bookcase. Otherwise, the dog is going to be doing this again.
You do. More bookcases. Yes.
That's a lesson to go clean up like this bookish mess. Anywho, I love this book. Well,
I'm actually going to pull up my Kindle app because there's a few quotes that
I was just going to say, I found the one. Like, she is not clumsy. She is blind! ! I had no reason to take her. But then she says, I'm blind. I mean, she's trying to convince him she's not. And then she's so intelligent because she figures out, oh, well, I know where my head reaches with my father, and I know how tall my father is, therefore I know yours. I mean, she's just on her game. So I love this girl. I mean, there's so many different things we could talk about. I mean, for those of you who did read it, joining us, if you have any thoughts, comments, I mean, I want to know what you think about this because clearly I love this book and I could just gush about it.
Yes. What did we get star ratings? What did we give, like, star-wise? Lady is saying hi to Maps, too, by the way.
I mean, I gave this, like, 5+. I'd be like, hey, can we just throw a 6-star out of 5, Just
10 stars.
All the stars. Because, I mean, I also love I love first love stories. And I also don't like other woman and other man drama in romance novels. And then she nailed that with my little shipper heart there. Jackie! Oh my God, I love Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Jackie's book. She's amazing. I mean, even though I'm going to go grab her book because even though I'm still on camera.
That's fine. I can hold the fort for you. Hi, Jackie. My name's Nicole. How are you?
So, yeah, because I have her book prominently featured on my bookcase. So it's very easy to just go grab it. Look at this cover. She is amazing. Bookstagram her. Everyone should be following her everywhere. And add this book to your read list because it's actually, it is amazing. It is. I mean, he's book boyfriend material. I was like,
boyfriend material.
Oh, I mean, yeah. It's like, do I need to say more?
What is it called?
So this one is Returning His Favor, and I'm pretty sure You just released a sign. I think I already ordered it. If not, I put it in a cart. I didn't put it through yet, so I will order it. But I'm pretty sure you have a second one. I'm pretty sure. But this is the first one. And I love the premise, and the dog is now confused. Like, why are you not talking to me? Oh boy, he's gonna try and make some more messes, trying to bury this treat.
Want to read? Got it on Goodreads.
Yes. As I grab the book. I am so happy to see you popped up. Oh, yes, see, I knew there was a book too. I knew it was coming out because I follow her religiously on Instagram, y'all. She is amazing, and she's such a sweetheart. See, and I know she was there when I met Lorraine. She was there. She saw the little fangirl moments of happening there.
That's awesome.
I know. See, this is one of those things, like, I'm already planning on going back to KissCon because I was like, yes, people like you make it great. And then you need to join us.
Yes. Yes. Lady Gizmo is saying it's a 10. After a while, the brother said she's blind, and Lee, after getting to know her, says she sees more than me. Yes. That's cool. Yes. I love that. He has good, there's some good quotes in here. I mean, I highlighted a bunch.
I mean, this book made me laugh. It made me nervous. I was swooning. I mean, this was the book with all the feels. And I think it was really proper balance too. I mean, you could be in a really romantic scene and then she'd throw in a humorous line, or you'd be in a really dramatic scene and then a humorous line would come in and break it up. I mean, my favorite thing was when they were trying to figure out how to prevent hanging. Like, yeah, we'll just chop down the hanging tree because they can't possibly hang him from any other tree except the hanging tree.
He was like, there are other trees around.
But like, yeah, read about him being hanged and have his crimes go through, you know, we have this real trauma, awful thing potentially happening. And we're like, yeah, let's just cut down the tree. Yeah. Sure.
The comedic timing was on point.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Gizmo, I love the writing, and the humor was perfect timing. All the feels, yes. One quote that I really did love, way in the beginning, she was no simpering female willing to follow. She would fight tooth and nail to achieve what she wanted. And right now she craved freedom. He did not trust her, but she lured him like a siren song. I'm like, I love that quote. That was so good. I was like, that is like her to a T. Like, that's her. His magnificent plan, chop down the hanging tree.
I'm sorry, the dog. I didn't realize he left. And all of a sudden I see him coming back. Where did you go? I thought you were under my feet, little guy. So Max is keeping me on my toes over here. But oh my gosh. The brothers were hysterical, and I love the way they reacted to him, how they engaged in conversations, how they were supportive. I mean, it was so interesting to see the family dynamics at work, especially, spoiler alert, find out that he was not originally a blood relation, but you would never have known that. You would never know that throughout the way they interact with each other before you reach that point in the book.
When did everybody figure it out that he was actually Damon Montgomery? Did anyone figure it out, or was it a surprise at the end when it was revealed? I'm
trying to remember because it was a lot. I mean, again, I got to interview Lorraine Heath at RWA, and because I've read her books, I was being very particular with some of my questions, and so I asked her, I was going, well, how do you plot out your books? And she goes, because then I've been telling you, like, oh, every time I go back, I notice little details, and then I see where she was going. We have the foreshadowing. She goes, I'm not necessarily a plotter. And I'm sitting there, my mind is boggled because I'm like, how did you not plot this out? Because you're so perfect with the plotting. Like, these stories come naturally to you. Just, like, share your muse with me. Like, how does this happen? Like, because every time, again, I'm on my 4th or 5th reread, every time I notice something different between how they worked in him different with his accent and how, I mean, I noticed little things about the Lee Raven elements, and I noticed little, like, hints here and there. And so I don't know where she did that, as an editing or what, but the foreshadowing is amazing. I actually don't think I knew on the first time when I was reading for a while that he was really Damon.
I figured it out. Well, I didn't figure it out, but I was just like, I swear to God, if he's David Montgomery, it was like 50% of the way through the book.
Yeah, like that took a little while. Like it wasn't an instantaneous, oh, he's the boy she's referring to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it wasn't as if, oh, on the first mention, I latched onto it.
Right.
I mean, there was one book we read, and I'm not going to throw it on the bus and cite the title, but right away who our evil villain was because it was way too obvious. I mean, it was really obvious. And I'm going, okay, you've never named this woman, so clearly you're talking about the same woman between the two of you. I mean, it was this one, it wasn't as obvious.
No, it's like it was just I just kind of latched onto it after they've mentioned it a few times. So I was like, okay, she's repeating that, this Damon character, and it's I was like my my sleuthing skills were coming up. I was like, I was like, I swear, if he's David Montgomery. And then as soon as they said, like, he lifted his eyes and they were as blue as Kit's, I was like, I knew it.
Well, it's like, he looks like Kit, and she's, because I mean, she has no idea. Right. I mean, he wouldn't let her feel his face for the longest time. She eventually had to, like, she was really upset because this is after they've been intimate. She's going, I shared this part of myself and you can't even share your face with me. And so, I mean, she had no idea what he looked like for the longest time. And so I think that itself to the mystery because we didn't know what she didn't know.
Right, exactly. Like, even when she was feeling his face, though, you can't tell skin color, you can't tell eye color, and you can't tell hair color. And he deliberately kept that from her as well. So she got a rough outline of what his face looked like, but not that, he didn't necessarily, and like kind of like he didn't necessarily look like his brother. He had a narrower nose, not as bushy eyebrows. And so it was like little things like that. But you can't really tell, like, the difference in the skin tone and the color. So really, even if when he finally did let her touch his face, he was still kind of protected in that point.
Yeah. Oh, that was like a spot on answer. I was like, yes to everything you just said. Because even then she's going, I mean, this was what was so intriguing to me about her in a I mean, I felt badly, and it was, like she wasn't born blind. She went blind, so she has things to compare. I mean, if someone gives her a comparison, she can reference that in her mind. Oh, does it look like the dirt? Does it look like a rock? Give me something to compare it to, and he wouldn't do that for her. And so, yes, I mean, she had your jaw is like this, and, your brothers all have very bushy eyebrows, and you don't. I mean, we had that, but, I mean, like, we didn't know he wasn't blood relation entirely until they told her.
Right. Lady Gizmo said, I thought when Angela hit her head on the rock, I thought somewhere later on in the story she might get her eyesight back. Yeah. I'm trying to remember because I think I remember reading a story that had that, like the character was blind and then she hit her head and her eyesight came back. But I don't know if it's possible. I don't know. Medical miracles happen every day.
There was an episode of Monk where that happened. An episode of Monk where that happened. The woman in the alleyway who killed. I love how I know the exact episode. It had Willie Nelson in it, and so the producer was shot, and the woman in the alley claimed, and you're like, okay, well, the blind lady didn't shoot him this close range. It has to be Willie Nelson, and it turned out she hit her head 2 years before and regained eyesight in her left eye, and then she was killed. That was the twist. She had her eyesight and did not tell people she could see again. It was a twist. I've seen every episode of Monk multiple times.
As proof positive, it could happen. The Lady Gizmo's like the blonde hair. That was the killer moment for me. Throughout the story, Angela kept asking if it was black or brown. Blonde was never mentioned. Yeah. Yeah. Blonde hair.
One of the quotes was, he's like, she is a smart one. She has already guessed too much. I do not need to confirm what she suspects. I mean, all these theories, but they wouldn't tell her. That's true. Blonde was never mentioned. And on the back of the book, this guy is not blonde. So I also didn't
want to throw you off.
I was like, maybe he just has really dirty hair.
Yeah.
Like maybe he just needs a bath. I don't know.
And can we just take a minute to just love like the Rodriguez family, like took in this little boy and like raised him as his own son. And he had a great life, even though, yes, he was like traumatized and kidnapped. He didn't really remember, but this family took him in and like, yep, that's my son. Yep, that's my brother. You know, and I just love that. It was just so heartwarming, and they did not deserve what they got. And I did not feel bad for this Shelby character at all.
Honestly, like, this is what I mean. You would not have known until they actually addressed it that he was not a blood relation, because they treated him like he was their brother. And I loved it when, again, the whole thing was they couldn't identify Lee Raven. They're like, I'm Lee Raven. No, I'm Lee Raven. And they were willing to go to jail for him. I mean, they were really going to go to bat for him. I mean, he is their brother. I
think Lady Gizmo mentioned that even little Miguel wanted to help. I'm Lee Raven. I was like, oh my gosh.
Miguel is my favorite. Aside from my two main characters, I love him. He stayed for the birthday and like he bonded with Angela. Oh, it was so adorable. I love that little kid.
His mother taught him how to play the guitar. And what I really like about when we all find out that he's really Damon, and then Kit is coming to the realization that this is his son, you know, and you know, he even said, because Damon was kind of torn between his loyalty with his family that actually raised him and was with him, and then this new person who he was basically stolen from. His father, Kit, was like, you have two fathers. Okay, he did a really good job raising you. I'm like, oh my gosh. I want his story, and I want her parents' story, and I want everybody's story.
Everyone in this book is amazing. This is what I mean. I mean, this is why I agree like wholeheartedly with you. There's not one character aside from the Shelby you're like, oh, I mean, you're supposed to hate them. You hate them because you're supposed to. They deserve to be disliked. I mean, but all the characters, I mean, they're all just so amazing. Yes. And
I just thought that was super, super sweet. That's like, you have two fathers. He raised you great, you know, and I just thought that was just amazing.
I love that. I love that part too, because it made me like him as a character, because he wasn't trying to be like, oh, I did. I mean, because so often in historicals, they try and bring it back to that level of, oh, you know, we are a family, but this is an outsider. It's like, no, none of that. I love the inclusivity in that moment. So great. But no, I mean, I also think I appreciated the fact that this had the emotional components. I mean, that was an emotional moment. Yes. It wasn't. Yes. It was definitely like, yes, there was the narrative plot elements of, oh, what's going to happen with the Shelbys and what's going to happen, you know, over here. So we had the actual, you know, driving forces of that. But I loved how emotional this read was. It spoke my heart.
Mm-hmm. You felt all the things. Like you said, you were scared for these characters. You loved these characters. You cried for these characters. You know, you really felt all of these. You just went on a wild roller coaster ride, and I loved every minute of it. And Lady Gizmo was saying, like, when Miguel invited Angela to his birthday party to hit the piñata, I was like, oh my God, someone's going to get hit.
But I mean, yes, they put the bandana on her. They were like, yes, we need to blindfold you. And I'm like, this is redundant.
Like, they don't trust that she's really blind.
I thought that was hysterical. Like, I don't know if that's like a bad, inappropriate thing. And I'm like, she's blind and you're putting a blindfold on her. This just seems unnecessary.
Like, okay, well. And it made him so happy that she stayed for his birthday. And yes, he's so sweet and innocent. He deserves all the love.
Yeah. Such a cute little guy. I mean, I love the way she interacted with him and the rest of his family. I mean, especially little Miguel, because she wanted him because the family's been traumatized in such horrible, awful, I mean, they've had so much done to them and around them. And so the little boy is kept at home and he doesn't have an age. And so he's relying on his, you know, his aunt and his uncles. And now he has a new person to interact with. And he's so excited. He's like, yes, I have a new person to interact with. And it could have gone worse because, you know, here's a stranger. Here's someone, you know, he doesn't know how to have these outside interactions. But I mean, she made him feel comfortable and he was just so outgoing with her. It was perfect.
Mm-hmm. I just love when he first met Angela, like, he's asleep. And then he's like, Lee, are you awake? And he's like, do I look awake? She's really pretty. She's also like, she's also awake. So cute. So funny.
I love the lines. I mean, you can tell when writers write children's lines and don't understand children, but then on the same spectrum, like if they know children and they do the line, like, yes, I can tell you had some children, like, because he sounds realistic and it's like, yeah, that's something a kid would do. Like, oh, did you notice? Like, yeah, she's still right there. No.
And then she was like, how old are you? And she's like, and there was like this pause because through Angela's perspective, she can't see. And then he's even like, you have to tell her she can't see your fingers. Just thought that was so cute. Because they do, like, when little kids tell their age, they go, like, they do the numbers. Yeah. So.
That was amazing to me, like the details.
Yeah.
Like those little moments are my everything in books. It takes it to another level of not just telling you the story, you're experiencing it. At least that's how I feel when you have those moments, because they're not like, that's good. Like that's, taking good writing, making it great. Like I love that.
It just took it up another notch. That's why it's the 10 stars.
Yes. And that's why it's on like the 5th ever since April.
I know. As soon as I was done with it, I was like, I want to continue on with the series, but I wanted to reread this because I knew that there were so many things now that you know the end that you can look for when reading. So I wanted to reread it.
I think I actually literally read it and then I went, like, let's reread this again. I'm pretty sure I did that. Like, okay, I finished. Let's go back to the beginning and just start it all over. Like, I don't even think I missed a beat. I'm pretty sure that was my second reread of going, yep, now that I know he's the Raven, I got to go figure out, should have known.
The little breadcrumbs that she leaves. It was great. It was great.
I love them as a couple too.
You too. You're just so cute and perfect. And
he really did love her for her and vice versa. I mean, one of the quotes I highlighted, she had such spunk, this small woman he held tightly, more tightly than he needed to, not nearly as tightly as he wanted to.
Yes.
The feelings.
The feels.
And then, like, there's a part where he's like, he desperately longed for her trust. I mean, the way they wanted to, like, we're building from being kidnapped. But here's the thing, this is why I think it works, is there's no issues of consent in this way. Like, yes, he kidnapped her, but he's not mistreating her. He's not abusive towards her. I mean, the power dynamic is never really an issue of, oh, he's her captor, she's the captive. I mean, she's running, she's kind of in charge. Like, at multiple points in this narrative, like, she's so. I mean, I never really worried about that element. So I mean, that never even became an issue. So I was just able to enjoy them together. You know what I mean? Because some of the stories you're like, oh well, this is freaking me out. Like, I never had those vibes. I just was able to enjoy it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you 100%. Like you said, she was mostly running the show. There was one time where they stopped 6 times in an hour so she could go to the bathroom behind the bush when she was really just playing cards. I'm like, okay. And then, like, when he was gonna take her back, she was like, no, I want to stay.
Like, she's the one telling him what to do, and he obeys her. Like, that's the other thing too. He doesn't really put up a fight and gets to question it. Like, she still wins. I love that. Like, I'm never concerned that, he's pushing her into something or, oh, she's this captive. And I never had entering doubts. I mean, the way it was handled was just done beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that because I've read some of the dark ones. You're like, oh, I'm getting a little, like, creeped out now. Like, oh, we're entering a realm here. Not even on like the radar for this book. So even though you like keep her captive, like, don't worry about it. If you haven't read this book, just throw that out there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The way it was told, it was like you said, I wasn't worried about. I was actually more worried about her safety when he left. I'm like, can you not leave her alone, please? And then look what happened. She was near the door.
See, they just belong together all the time, forever.
And that scene where she was, you know, with the bounty hunters that were coming after him, and she was attacked by that guy, and he's like, she was like, you came back, and he's like, I never left. I'm like, gosh, I never left.
that quote, "You're not the hero, like you're not the hero we want, you're the hero we needed," or something. Like, he's the hero we need. Like, he is the hero that we need.
Yes. Angela was a great character. She talked to Lee about everything, and he listened even when he didn't want to. She made him look at things differently. That is so true, because even when he was talking with his brother, Angela, you said this quote earlier that, you know, when she was like, yeah, she was blind, but she saw a lot more than he did. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I love their relationship so much. And it's so funny because, again, I've spoken with Lorraine Heath, and she talks about how she loves the heroes and how the heroes are so important. And I love the fact that I have this strong hero who's literally brought to his knees by this woman who's not even sure, like, what's going on. Like, I mean, she's not really looking at this romantic relationship of sorts. She's just questioning things and making him look at things differently. I mean, when she ever brought into question of, well, you're keeping Miguel secluded, you shouldn't be doing that, he should be around kids. I mean, he had his own perspective of, no, I want to keep my family safe. Studied her, and he realized, hey, this is a valid point. Yeah. I mean, I appreciated that. I mean, he didn't just do like my way or the highway. Again, you have those alphas who just are like, you either do what I say or nothing at all. And that was not the situation here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you love your alphas, but you know which type of alphas I'm referring to. Like, there's alphas where it's like, you either do this or you don't eat, or some weird alpha situations. Like, that was not this situation.
I understand. Yeah, like to beat you over the head with his club alpha. Yeah. Yep.
They're like, I'm gonna, yeah, some of them take it to weird levels. But I mean, he was so, like, he engaged in the conversation. There was a dialogue. It wasn't just, you're gonna do what I say, or vice versa. Like, they actually talked things out with one another.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Yes, and he valued her opinion. He didn't, like, back then, women, they didn't value anything that women said, you know, so it's like the fact that he took her opinion, her knowledge and thoughts, and actually really expressed them and applied them in his life. I was like, you are good.
This is why he's a book boyfriend.
Yes.
I love this guy.
I did find another quote that I loved.
Go for it.
Oh, I did find it until, hold on. Oh, okay. So this is just after they were dancing, and she's like, I can't dance. And so she's talking with Juanita. And then she's like, I've seen Lee tonight. It was like he was under a spell. Angela shifted on the mattress. What do you mean? While you danced, he never took his eyes off you. He watched you until you were the light in his darkness.
I love that his family realizes how important she is to him.
Yes.
I mean, she also can't tell that he's looking at her. So I appreciate the fact that the sister flat out tells her. They don't leave this up for debate or questioning. You know, it's one of those, she's secretly trying to get them together by giving her this knowledge. He likes you. You know, go for it.
Even when Juanita first met Angela, she was like untangling her hair. She was like, he would die for you. And she's like, no. He's like, I would.
He would.
Yes.
And he would propose on one knee. When he proposed down on one, but the Texas Rangers were waiting to capture him. He was totally embarrassed. And my heart, oh my gosh, the first time I read that. Yeah. He kept saying how humiliated he was at that moment. That bothered him for a long time. Because he loves her. He didn't want to be rejected.
Yeah. He didn't want to be rejected. He didn't want to feel, like he even said, like, I will never beg anyone for anything. And he was down on his knees, everyone's saying, like, and they knew that this was a whole setup, so he felt humiliated. I totally understand.
But I also, the part that I thought was so interesting was that he was with her, and he had that moment of feeling betrayed, and he was angry, but he still loved her regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't transfer you know, he was upset with her, but he didn't stop loving her because of it. He wasn't like, oh, you are a terrible human being and cut off all contact, which is very real possibility in those moments. But I mean, he was still happy to see her. She came to take care of him after the fact. I mean, he was still like, oh, there you are. His heart would flutter, even though, you know, this was the woman who rejected him. He was still happy to see her.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah, and when he was like she said, you have to tell the secret about Juanita or I will, and he was like, you already betrayed me. If you tell the secret, you will lose me forever. I felt that so deep. I was like,
yeah, but I love that the brother called him on this. He's like, well, what would you have done? Exactly. I love that the brother, again, they had the dialogue. They talked it out. Because so many things can be internalized. So I just appreciate the fact that this was on the page and you were able to see how it played out. And I love that they had that conversation of like, well, what would you have done? And he's like, well, I would have surrendered. Yeah, but she saved everybody.
Exactly. He was like, I mean, at him. It was so like, it was intense. He was like, what would you have done? And he's like, I would have surrendered. Yeah, you would have.
But I love that. I mean, he kind of lets him stew. Like, okay, maybe he'll reach this conclusion on his own. He didn't, because emotion versus logic, you know, there's a difference. He was very emotional in that moment. Because the brother's looking at it logically, and he calls him on it. And I love that. I just appreciate that so much. Mm-hmm. I was like, you gotta get your head out of nowhere and get in the game. Exactly. There's so much to talk about with this book, and it's all so great.
I know. I have more. I mean, I just have to go through my highlighted. Oh, this was when it was after their night, and he still wouldn't let her like touch his face to see him. And he's like, he pressed a kiss to his fingers, and she snatched her hand away. He said, regrets. Instantly, he took her head. And he's like, guilt stabbed at him with the evidence of his failure. I tried to be gentle, and I hurt here, and she pressed her hand to her chest, like, I hurt here. Last night, I'm willing to give you everything. You manipulated my body, and I never touched your face. I'm like, sad.
And then, though, he finally gives in and lets her touch his face. He's like, how could I have deprived us of this moment? I mean, I love that he admits that he was wrong. Like, how could I have not let her done this sooner? I mean, this was something I noticed on the rereads when he talked about how he recognized her because she reminded him of an angel. And I love that, you know, again, I know it's not like Angel Angela. You know, I didn't realize that at first, even though it's my name. I'm like, hey, wait a second. But I mean, he calls her his angel, and the way he responds to her, and he's like, you know, the sun would shine in her hair, and she would smile at me, and like, oh, that was great.
Sweet. And
that was one of my favorite moments. I'm like, we really do share a brain, because that was one of my highlights where I'm like, yes, this scene.
Yeah, another one is losing him would be worse than losing her sight. With her eyes, she hoarded 12 years of memories with images to sustain her. With Lee, she only had days. How could she fall so fast, so hard, so deeply in love? I'm like, that'd be so rough. Just have your sight and then lose it. Like, what is worse? Like, being born blind and not having anything to like judge, or like having the sight and then losing it? You know, it's just like, oh man, like, it's rough. Being blind in general is just rough. I feel like twice.
I mean, I'm a man of mystery. Like, she was so strong though. Again, she's out wandering her town square by herself. I mean, no seeing eye dog, no friend or family member to guide her. I mean, she's like, this is my town. I have an idea. I know it well enough. I trust it. You know, I've trusted myself. I've trusted the town. I mean, she went for it. Like, she didn't let it hinder anything. Like, I love you.
Even when she was staying at their property, she didn't stop that. She didn't let her blindness stop her from going outside, even though she had no idea the layout of that house. She still went outside, and she, you know, felt things, and she was getting to know the layout. And Lady Gizmo, yes, that was one of my favorite quotes too. Twice Lee says, I'm a man of many talents. I can kiss you and listen to you at the same time. I just thought that was so funny.
There was like a loud thunder. I don't know if you guys heard that in the background.
I did not hear it.
Like I saw the flash. But going back to him letting her touch his face, he's like, if he let her touch his face, excuse me, if he let her touch his face, let her into his heart completely, how would he ever bear to face the hangman's news? If the last barrier between them, where would he find the strength to give her up? Like, he's just the way he thinks.
That was a good
I
one.
love it. I love it. I love you, Lorraine Heath. You're so talented. I mean,
you're so talented.
Well, even like never in her life had she resented her blindness more, that at this moment she could not see the love reflected in his eyes.
That was like
oh, look these lines, my heart. My heart.
My super heart.
I know.
I love this little scene where her mom used to say that men were like barbed wire, that they had their good points, and they started laughing, and she was like, I've never heard you laugh. I'm like, stop it. Stop.
Well, again, this was something I noticed on the reread. She had been Damon's angel, died. Now she was Lee's, and death waited slightly beyond reach for him as well. And then we switched, to his point of view. Angela was his tonight, tomorrow, for as long as she wanted. When he had to give her up, he would somehow find the strength to do so because she needed it. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have the strength because you love her. Like, you have strength enough not to give her up.
I don't have the strength. I don't have it.
But I love the fact that, she thinks he's this angel. She considers. I love the fact that, she was his angel as a child and she's still his angel as an adult. That mirror parallel image. And I appreciate the linguistic nature of this over here. Again, I didn't notice that until, hey, wait a second. She was his angel then and she's his angel now. Aw, you romance writer, you.
That was so sweet.
Again, all the feelings. But then she makes me laugh.
For her. He did little cute things for her. Like when he carved their initials in a heart on the tree. That's just such, young lovers, not a care in the world. They carve their name because they feel like they have forever in front of them. And I was just like, that's just so sweet. And he was like, you're easy to please.
I love that too. Again, I love first love stories. And I just, the way that it plays out is just so beautiful. Again, there's no other woman, other man drama. There's none of that. We're just focused in on the relationship. Again, I think we can kind of see a pattern emerging where I like it when it's focused on our hero and heroine alone, because I think you just get so much out of that story. Again, Transcendence is literally just the two of them. It's just the two of them. Here, obviously, we have secondary characters, we have additional plot lines going on, but we're still so focused on them as the hero and heroine. I just love that because I think you get just deeper and deeper into their relationship. And I love, emotions are why you're reading romance, that emotional connection. And I think she nailed it in this book.
Absolutely. She hit the nail on the head. Every opportunity she could, she was writing a little cute thing or a really poignant about the love they had between each other. And I just felt all the things. I did.
He was even just simple sentences. He was hers and she was his. Just all of it.
Perfect. And that just encompasses everything about them. Future Earl of Ravenley in England, we need a sequel. Yes. I want to know how they are in their happily ever after. I want to know everything. I want to know everybody gets their happily ever after.
I want the sister to get a story in the worst way. And I'm like, now that I know her, I'm like, how do I politely nudge, wink, wink this? I'm like, I love this. I love this sister so much. I'm like, she deserves, after everything this woman's been through, she deserves an HEA. She deserves it. And then we get more Miguel too.
Oh yeah. When Damon was looking at Spence, looking at Juanita, and I was just like, I need it now. I need it now. And he was just like, I do owe you. And he's like, yeah, so introduce me to your sister. You owe me. So funny. Oh, I also love this little quote. It's when she was talking about their ages, because that she was really upset that he was older than he was. And he was like, why are you giving me mathematical problems when we could be making love? I'm like, that's so funny. It's like, yeah.
I mean, the way he responds to that inquiry of, I'm happy I found you when I found you because we get more time together. There's this gif where the girl falls on the floor like swooning. That is me in that moment. I'm going, oh my goodness. I love that response so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was highlights too. Again, we're on the same wavelength.
This one, he was just like, when he was saying like, you always find me. And he's like reaching back, he tugged her forward, wrapped his arms around her, and around his chin on the top of her head. How is it that you can always find me? And she says, not always, Damon. Always, Angel. Perhaps not as quickly as you would like, but you always manage to find me. I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
Aww. So cute. And the part that I think is kind of weirdly fascinating in a way is Lee Raven. Spoiler alert. His real name is Damon. He only knew his first name. He didn't know anything else. He just knew his first name was Damon. Yeah. And so he remembered Raven Lee, but he twisted it into his head to Lee Raven. Mm-hmm. And so the entire book, he goes by Lee Raven. Like, he's Lee Raven. He's Raven. It's like, as Raven said, as Lee thought. We get that, but we don't know him really until about the 70% mark. Yeah. But it's like, it doesn't matter in a way because you have all the emotional connections and you know him on such a deep level. It's not immaterial by any stretch because then you're like, oh, Damon, I get it now. But but it didn't make that much of a difference because you already were emotionally invested and you already loved him. Like, his name almost didn't matter in that way. It was just a fact. It was like, yeah, oh yeah, you are that Damon. Like, yeah, but you're so great over here.
Lady Gizmo says, Spence ended up at a university that took him. I guess I thought he would end up with Juanita. Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. But now we know that they don't get their happily ever after. And I'm a little upset.
I almost want to write like a fan fiction. Like, I'm very tempted, just to satisfy my own need for her to have an HDA, just to satisfy my own need.
Yes, I would read it. That's always the best thing. Just write fan fiction and...
she deserves a half. I'm like, if Lorraine Heath, if you watch this, I'm humbly requesting that you somehow, in your very busy schedule of writing, add this to your to be written list.
Please. Please.
No, I was kind of surprised he took over as the Earl in general in Raven, as Earl of Ravenley, because he'd spent all this time as an outlaw and he'd been with his adopted family, and going to England and taking on this did seem a little different. I kind of expected Spence to become the Earl and kind of let him meander away with Angela somewhere. That's why I was like, yeah, I thought Spence was going to end up with her and she was going to become, go with him. I had my own little ending written in my head. That was not what happened.
Right? And talk about totally, you're talking Texas and Mexican territory and then England. Totally different. To ask Lorraine Heath why Angela named her son John. We called him Johnny.
I don't think I asked her that. I interviewed her. That was not on my list of questions.
I don't know.
Well, she's gonna be at KissCon again this year, so I can ask her then.
And also, we can get some signatures together to write Juanita's story, and just hand it to her. This is everybody who would like her to get her happily ever after. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
I'm sure she would. If we got enough signatures, I'm sure she could make it happen.
At this point, I would settle for just a little short story or novella. I would just a little something. Oh, you're no. The way you said, I thought your response was no.
I would take anything at this point, yeah.
But when I first saw the reaction, I'm like, oh, you want the full book? I was like, oh, I just want things to tie her little story up into a pretty little bow.
I would like a full book, but if I could get a novella, I would be happy with the novella.
Yeah, like Tessa Dare writes novellas for her Cinco. You know, I'd settle for a novella. I'll take what I can get at this point.
Yeah, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Especially when it comes to romance novels, because Lorraine Heath.
You want everything. All right. Anything else anybody wants to talk about? I just went through all my quotes, actually. Unless you have any more quotes, Angela.
I was like, do I? I don't know. I feel like it's so funny because I'm just so excited talking about this book. Like, we're totally jumping around. I feel like there's just so much to say. I just love it. I'm exploding with, I mean, I just love it.
Like I said, I don't think there's anything that I did not like.
I mean, again, this is just a very random line, but when they're talking about the color of his eyes, what color are your eyes? And he responds, like, the sky at noon when the sun has washed away most of the color. Yes, this is one of those moments where, like, he is an educated guy, because you don't just say something like that out of the middle of nowhere. I always thought that was, like, I kind of highlighted that line of, like, yeah, that's definitely said by someone who reads.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love it because, again, this is at the 75% mark. This is when she realized, when I told you the story of the lost child was named Damon, why didn't you tell me who you were then? He's like, well, I actually didn't know. This was the first inclination I had. So it's kind of nice that it's not just told, but expanded upon. So I appreciated the details of this to explain his perspective and her perspective, because some of the time you'll just get one or the other, or it's like, oh, here's your big surprise. There it is, and there's no, I mean, it's like you get the reveal, but you don't get the breakdown of it. Like, no one unpacks it. So I kind of like that we unpacked the big reveal of, oh, yes, his eye color. Oh, yes, the hair. Oh, why didn't you tell me? We have that, in, like, I don't want to say in this, but we have that kind of, like, she's tying it all up for us. There's no loose ends in that way. And you're nodding, so I'm like, yes, hopefully this makes sense the way I'm saying it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, because because it goes on for several pages of, oh, why didn't you tell me then? And so he answers her, again, the dialogue between them, they actually talk it out rather than just say, oh, I didn't know that, end of sentence. And if you can fade to black, moving on to next chapter. I like how there's more to it than just that.
Yeah.
And then there's some, I can't, do you want to while I look for my next quote?
Yeah, Lady Gizmo just, I asked that because, like, Christine named her son Raymond after her deceased husband Ramon. But yeah, I don't know, honestly. I'm maybe there is no significance. But yeah, I love the fact that you got that little kind of twist at the end where Christine and Ramon were actually married, and that she was like, oh my gosh, it's terrible that she lost Ramon, but she does have her son to look after, and I love the quotes.
I love that part too. I love that part too. It was. I'm also glad that she kind of had a part of him in that way. Because she loved him so much. Like, yes, she still had the son. Like, even though he's no longer in her life, she still has a part of him.
My dog.
Hey, my dog is still being peculiar. So I'm trying to find where it is. But again, I love this woman so much. I know her name is Angela, and I feel like I'm talking about myself in the third person, but I'm not. I'm like, Angela. When she cuts his hair, I am so amazed at the fact that she's able to cut the hair, and reminded me of Archer's voice in a way. I don't know if y'all remember the scene where Bree's cutting Archer's hair in the kitchen, and there's just something really sweet and intimate about it in that way of he just liked feeling her hair. I mean, that was the intimacy. I thought that was so beautiful.
I thought it was amazing that she could be a seamstress and cut hair and like give him stitches like where she shot him, all the while being blind. I just thought I can't even sew, and I have my eyes open. So
I'm trying to find the quote. I'm trying to find the quote because it's so funny. He's like, the way he responds to her. Oh, here it is. Closing his Closing his eyes in sweet surrender, he hated to admit how soothing it felt, how much he'd missed her touch. You're not going to question my ability to cut your hair, she asked. I have learned with Bainbridge that you can do anything you set your mind to.
Yes. He totally believed in like everything that he was able to do. Like there was literally nothing that he thought she couldn't do.
Well, then he's like, my hair is very dirty. We may have to wash it twice.
You're like, don't stop.
But I love that. Girl.
I can't believe you forgot about the live stream too. I'm just kidding. I love that you can't.
April can do no wrong. She's joining us. Hello. I'm just happy she's here at any point. She's welcome to
the book. She loved the book.
That makes me happy. Oh, as I hit my iPad. I was like so happy. I'm like enthusiastic hand gestures.
Yes.
This is what happens when you love a book so much. Things go flying.
Yes.
I love that you love the book. That makes me so happy. What's your favorite part? As I like nonchalantly, I'm like, tell me more.
Tell me all your favorite parts.
I know. I think those are most of my quotes. I just love the part where he's like, you can do anything.
Yes.
I was just trying to get to that part. That was so great. See, April makes it sweet. She's like, you guys are so sweet, but she's so sweet. It's easy to be sweet to someone who's amazing like her. April, you are amazing, and everyone should be following you on every single platform.
Yes. April. Great.
And I just found the quote that you referenced earlier about he has two fathers. I love that one.
Yes, that's so good.
I also had notes to that one because I was like, this is so beautiful. But I think those are my main highlights. It was the one where he's like, you can do anything. That was my heart. I was like, I'm going to find the quote. And I did. So.
I have another one. Said if they were paupers with him beside her, well.
Okay, so I'm going to butcher the Spanish in this, so I apologize in advance. But for you, Querida,
sure.
I will do anything you have but to ask.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I took Russian in high school and then French as an undergrad. I do not know Spanish. I apologize.
Yeah,
I don't know Russian or French either.
Yeah, I took French in high school. I did not take Spanish. But also when he was in the I think he was already in the jail. And when she came to visit him, she was like, "You don't call me that anymore," and that just says everything that needs to be said. I'm like, no.
Like, forgive her. She meant no harm.
Yeah.
He's like, he acknowledges, he's like, you were my angel when I was a boy, and now that I am a man. I'm like, yes, she is. She's your angel no matter what. And I think those are my quotes. I'm just happy they have their happily ever after. And it's so funny that this book, because it came out in 2001, 2002. This book came out a long time ago, but it was a new to me read.
Oh, yeah.
And so I obsessed over it. Yeah, so it came out in 2001. And so, it was a new book to me. And so, it doesn't matter that it came out in 2001. It's still relevant.
That's
so great.
That's amazing. I feel like it's very, even though, yes, it's historical. I feel like this could have been yesterday.
Yeah. It's one of those books that hold up well. This is why when I was referring back to the power dynamics, some books don't age well. They just don't. When you look at them 20 years later, you have those cringeworthy moments. I think this, today, tomorrow, 20 years from now, and you're still going to be fine.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there.
Yeah, April loved that he called it. Very, very, I don't know how to say it either. She had to Google it. I had to Google it. It means dear. Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. So sweet.
Well, if you have the e-reader, you just highlight a word and you get a little Wikipedia up. I did that. Again, I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. It would come in handy.
Yeah. Especially because I live in a border state. But I was like, I'm going to take French in high school. I think one of my favorite lines was she asked, what do I call? And he says, Lee died going into the fire, but Damon Montgomery came out.
Yes.
Because he was actually agonizing over that. How do I be a person that can honor the family that raised me, but also this new family that I found?
Yeah.
April, you took Latin. Holy moly.
I took Latin in middle school, and then I signed up for Latin for high school, and I got put in Russian. This is a story of life. Like, I signed up for something, then I get something totally different.
Well,
I would have liked to have taken Latin with you, April. The prefixes and suffixes would have been useful. No, it's a dead language, so it's still not that useful. But, it would have been more.
Yeah, I took. There was Greek and Latin verbs in my biology class. That was about it. Or like the names and stuff. You see a lot of Latin suffixes in medical.
ISO, same, Molly, many. I used to like that stuff. Oh, you wonder why someone who likes linguistics studies rhetoric as their you can totally see where that came from. I'm such a mystery.
It's such a mystery. You're so mysterious.
Me and my love of romance is over here. I hide it so well.
I have one more quote. It says, if the heavens smiled on him and let him live to be 100, he would never have enough of her.
We need to just swoon. Just again, Willow Winters sent her book box, and this was in her book box. I did an unboxing video, and I honestly don't want to use this because I love the cover so much. Because my book boyfriend is better than yours. I feel like it should be and Damon Montgomery is mine. Add a little label to the bottom.
That is so
but he is. He's a book boyfriend. He's just so perfect and sweet. I love him.
You're talking about languages.
We're gonna do pre-med. That is impressed. That is an impressive goal. That is an impressive goal. I give you credit for that one. Even wanting to take that on seems like a lot.
It is.
You're nodding, yeah.
Yeah.
See, now I'm curious. I'm like, what did you major in instead? Damon Montgomery. Oh, yes. He's a book boyfriend. I should probably take little pages in this book and be like, Damon Montgomery, Archer Hale, Captain Wentworth, Mr. Darcy. Just start giving them individual pages. And then the book will be filled up. That's actually really, I'm like, oh, should I do this?
That's a really good idea.
Add that to the never-ending to-do list.
Right.
But no, those are all my quotes, and I'm calling him as my book boyfriend. Just that out there.
Okay. You can have it.
You're happily married. I get Damon.
You get Damon, Archer Hale, Mr. Darcy. Yeah. Is anyone from me?
You can have Captain Wentworth if you want him. I'll take Mr. Darcy over Captain Wentworth. Here's the other thing too. I would take Ed from Transcendence because he just belongs with Bay. So I'm like, yes, he would be a book boyfriend, but I don't take him away. They just belong together. So, but I want Damon, and her name's Angela, so it works. Damon and Angela, it'll be like, yes, it's in the book. It was meant to be.
Yes. I wholeheartedly agree.
See, I've thought this through. This is the problem.
You're like, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it.
Does anyone have any more that they want to talk about with the Outlaw and the Lady?
I was like, I know. So next month we are taking part in the Great Big Romance Read for the Rick Bodice. I am looking at my Celestial Maze because that is the book. It is around here somewhere, and I'm pretty sure it is now under the pile that the dog just made. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it and show it to y'all. But it is a female romance. It is historical, and I'm really looking forward to reading this because it's supposed to be the best book. And everyone's raving about it. It has great reviews, so I'm really excited to see why it has such great reviews. Yes, there is a giveaway. So what I'm going to do is after tonight, you can tell when I get tired. Tonight after the live stream, there we go, correct wording. I'm going to go through and look at whoever commented, and every single comment is going to be an entry. And then I have a signed copy for someone to get. I was so happy. It was so funny when I interviewed her. I had 5 copies of this book out, and she's like, "You like this book, don't you?" I was like, "Yes, I do. I do." And so, yes, I'm going to go through all the comments. So each comment is going to be an official entry, and then someone will win a copy. So I will do that later on tonight or tomorrow. So comment away. Get all your entries in. Do little heart emojis. Do whatever makes you happy. But yes, so this is going on. I was so honored and so blessed that she was able to sign these. She was gracious too, because again, they're doing these different signings because she's published with Avon, and this was, that was a signing. There was a lot of people, a lot of books, and then I'm like, 5, and she did. So I appreciate her so much.
You're a trooper. You went above and beyond for this club, the Romantics at Heart.
It was so funny too, because she's looking at me, she's going, "How did you get these books?" I'm going, "Well, I packed them in my suitcase." And she's looking at me like, "But you came here, right? You didn't do the train." And I flew. I didn't care. These books were coming with me. We're doing this book for our book club. I'm so you were gonna get your physical copy with this saying "Dear Nicole," so that's coming your way. I convinced my mom to read this book, so she has her copy signed to her. And so I have my own.
Read it. I love that.
I've been talking about this book ever since April nonstop. So yes, I was so happy. I'm like, yes, I have a copy to give away tonight. So I'm really, really excited that I get to do that for y'all. I wish she was there at RWA, but I didn't know she was there. The author for Maze. Otherwise, we would have tried to do the same thing for next month. So we'll try.
So good.
How do you spam without YouTube yelling at me? I have no idea. I wish I knew. You can type us hello and YouTube. I was going to say, what language did you take? I was going to say all the languages we were talking about before. You try that. One in Latin, one in French, Spanish.
Kirsten's asking a very good question. Like, when do you sleep between PhD, this club, writing, reading? When?
Oh my God.
5 a.m. with the writing club. I'm like, I'll get there. I'll wake up at 5. It's a lie. Every night when I turn on my alarm to wake up for the 5 a.m. writing club, it is a lie. I tell myself. The alarm goes off. I turn it on.
No, honestly, it doesn't happen as much as I would like it to, the 5 a.m. writing club. Someone actually asked me that today. They're like, how do you do this? I'm like, I wish I had an answer for you. Part of it has to do with the fact, as well as I have difficulty. I have insomnia issues. So sometimes if I don't fall asleep till 1 a.m., I'm not waking up at 5. Right. That's not going to happen. So, it depends on how well that sleep issue goes the night before. But luckily, Nicole, we were chatting yesterday night, so I was in a good place by the time I went to sleep. So, it didn't take me that long, and I was just wake up today. But as far as sleeping goes, my tagline is, when I've been talking to people, is romance is my life. I read it, I write it, and I study it. That's how I get to do it. Because I always feel like I'm working towards something because it all intertwines. At least that's how I feel about it. It is my life. Even when I'm about to go to sleep, I read the romance before I go to sleep. It's just all and now Nicole, the Cozy Club, yes, you are gonna make the cozy. Yes, so you're for the Cozy Mystery Club. I get to do it with Nicole. So she also she's helping me with that. So yeah. Reading the Cozy Mystery Club. Yeah, but it's my life. It's what I like to do. So it works. So I don't know why.
With the romance.
I hope that answers your question about what you've been wondering.
But I love that. You do so much for both this club and the Cozy Mystery Club. And I'm so grateful to be to have the opportunity to be a part of the Cozy Mystery, book club. I was just, in the comments with y'all when for the Cozy Mystery. And now that I'm a co-host, I'm really, really excited. I did like Cozy Mystery, but then I really started to get into it when, Angela created the Cozy Mystery book club. So I was really excited just to have another thing in common with my best friend. And so I'm glad that now that I'm a co-host, it's just more time with Angela, more time with y'all. And I love it so much.
I've been having the best time putting together. So I've been already working towards doing this first initial giveaway of introducing Nicole, and we have Anna as a guest host. I'm so excited. So I'm working an epic giveaway for y'all. So there are candles, there's different types of chai tea in here. I found this on Amazon and I thought it was the best thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Makes me feel cozy. So there's gonna be a giveaway every month relating to the book. So I might as well tell you guys now so you have the inside scoop. So
the romantics at heart, you heard it first. There's going to be giveaways for the Cozy Mystery Club because Angela is a rock star. She is perfect. Lady Gizmo, thank you for that compliment. She says I'm the best co-host ever. Thank you.
You are. You're so. I mean, you're so supportive of me as well. I really appreciate that. You're like, yes, you want to do giveaways? We can do that. You want to do a new logo? Go have at it.
And I'm just over here. I'm like a tree in the wind. I'm just so happy to be included. I was like, whatever you like. Yes, do it.
I mean, I'm so excited to also include people in the club in this one. I mean, so I'm really excited. I was trying to figure out how to do this. And so I was thinking 2 giveaways would be best so that one would be this giant box filled with goodies for people watching during the live stream. And then what I was also thinking of doing was gifting the next book to someone because of the Twitter account. So that if someone was not able to join the live stream, but they tweeted at us, they retweeted, they liked or something, they could be entered to give the book for next month. So I was thinking that would be a nice way to do both. So that is my,
She's so good. She's so good. Honestly, I bow down to you. You are a rock star. You're a queen. Oh. I love you so much. And you're just making you're just spreading the positivity, everybody. I just love this girl so much. She's such a giver. She's so compassionate and just giving back to all of our our members for our book club and just making this such an awesome experience. I love her so much. I know you guys do too. And April, the Cozy Mystery Club is that we used to meet on Wednesdays, but now it's the last Tuesday of the month. So we're keeping it with the Tuesday. We're doing something every Tuesday night, you guys. So we'd love to have you. And I just love spending time with Angela. I love spending time with y'all. I mean, this is the best time. Tuesday is the night. Best way to spend a Tuesday, whether it's romance, whether it's Cozy Mystery. I'm hanging out with y'all. It's the best night ever. I really love each and every one of you. I love Angela. And she's a light. She is seriously a light in this community. She's just perfection. I love her so much.
I know, I'm crying.
Don't cry because then I'm going to cry. And I have wings.
I did my wings tonight. I'm still wearing mascara. You make me cry. That was the nicest thing I think anyone's ever said to me in my life.
Well, you do all this stuff for all of us. And you're so giving and thoughtful and compassionate. And there's not enough great adjective to describe you. I just love you so much. Oh, Lady Gizmo has also said, yes, I'm going back to your comment, Lady Gizmo, that's saying that she has a physical copy of The Outlaw and the Lady. So she likes her copy, so she wants the giveaway for anybody else who's commented tonight. So thank you so much, Lady Gizmo. You're sweet. You're so sweet. I'm sorry, Angela, I didn't mean to make you cry. Everybody.
You're so sweet though. I mean, again, you're just. It's been one of those weeks where I needed to hear something. She's just the sweetest thing. She sent me a little box the other day with some goodies, and it's when you're feeling down and someone's just so sweet and giving to you, and you're like, oh, I needed that. You're she is my light. I love this girl so much. And I'm crying and I'm getting really emotional because she was there for me. You know, she's always there for me when I need someone, and you know, when things are going like badly, or when you know the unexpected happens, she's like, I'm there for you 100%. And like I think everyone needs that person, so I'm so happy like this woman is mine, and I'm so happy like booktube introduced us.
Oh God, yes, yes.
Like, you know, all those videos, all the times on editing and like joining this community, I'm like, it was all meant to be. I was like, even if I didn't get any views and I still met this woman, like it would all be worth it. Like it would still be worth it no matter what. Like, oh, like she's everything.
I love you so much.
I love you.
Kristen's gonna cry. He's like, now I'm gonna cry.
Oh, and well, I mean, you're just so special. I mean, I just appreciate that so much because, you know, I try, you know, I love the romance genre. I love cozy mysteries. Like, I want to spread that love. And so, I mean, it's nice. I appreciate being appreciated in that way. And like, you're so sweet to me with so many things. I'm like, I just want to give you all the love. Like, you know, if we live near each other, I feel like we never get anything done because we just be like reading and chatting the whole time.
That's so true. Honestly, I feel like on my bucket list, we need to live closer to each other because we are seriously on the other side of the country from each other. I just need to live closer to you. And I told her, I was like, when I eventually physically meet you, prepare to be tackled and a hug. Like, so we need to meet, like, no concrete. There needs to be grass. There need to be some grassy areas so there's no injuries.
I think that was our response to you because I'm like going to tackle you. I was like, we need to meet on grass. Because again, I'm like, everything that is clumsy in the world, be me with Murphy's Law. I'm like, we need to like, it's going to be on grass or carpet. Like, no cement because I will bleed. Yeah. I know. I'm so glad that you guys found each other. Yes. Like, I don't know what hashtags or accounts or algorithms led us to be together, but I'm like, I'm so grateful that it worked out that way. Yeah. I'm like, I mean, Kristen, April, and Nicole, like, you guys, I'm keeping my little girl squad. Because, like, I can't forget you guys. And our Jackie was here before too. So, everyone. Yeah.
Everyone. And I think this is the first time that I've seen Jackie on the live stream. So I'll have to first of all, I've already wanted to read your book on Goodreads. It's official. And then I got to follow you on all the social media. April, I love you too. I know we live in the same state and I haven't met you yet. Yes, it's so hot.
It's still hot here though. Like you might be escaping your heat, but like you're coming to a different level of humidity. Like it's still bad. And now I get thunderstorms. I don't even know if you'd want to fly in this right now.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, it's just like I really wish it would just do something because it's been like, you know, muggy and cloudy for so long. And I'm just like, just rain. It was like 115 yesterday. Yeah, we broke our record. It was 115 yesterday.
Oh, I would not leave the house.
Lady Gizmo, good night. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you enjoyed the book. Thank you for joining us and telling us your thoughts about Leah and Angela. It makes me so happy that you read the book with us, enjoyed it. I mean, I feel like that is the most amazing thing when you have a book club and people read the books and then they like them. And then people like the book that you like. Oh, that is everything.
It's like so validating where you're just like, here, read this book. I loved it. I loved it. And then, you know, they read it and they loved it. I'm like, yes. Like I finally had a girl from my in-real life book club read Archer's Voice and she loved it. I'm like, yes.
I feel like I get nervous though. Like if it's almost like giving a part of your soul in a way because you love so much. Like I love this book, right? So if I recommend it to you and you're like, I hated it, I would just be an emotional wreck inside. I wouldn't tell you that. I would say, oh, okay, like, you know, I appreciate you taking the time to read it. Like I would still be polite, but inside I'd be dying.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go. It was nice talking to you. Ah.
I mean, so in fact, I love it. I love that you guys love the book. That makes me so happy. Oh. And next month, Celestial Maze, I have not read this book yet, so I can't tell you guys. I just know that other people are recommending it, so hopefully it's going to be one of those moments where, like, they're handing you parts of their soul, and it's going to be exactly like that. You're like, yes, I love this. So.
Alrighty, so next week, or next month, I should say, next month, is the Great Big Romance Read. I love that we're doing this again. That's hosted by the Rit Bodice, and you should be following everything that we do on social media.
I'm still an emotional wreck over here. I'm still crying.
Why? Only happy tears. I love you so much.
So the little keeping. So next week we have movie night, and our movie is drum roll.
It's Penelope. It's Penelope.
I was gonna say, and I think it's on Amazon Prime and free via either HBO or Stars. So there are some ways to stream it.
I think it's on Netflix.
It might be. Is it on Netflix? I know it's available. So
I'm gonna look it up.
So obviously this was our book club week. Next week is movie night, Penelope, and then the third week it's on Netflix. I knew it was on Amazon Prime or Netflix, so it's on Netflix. So everyone can be streaming it. So next week is movie night, Penelope. We're gonna be live tweeting, no live stream, live tweeting. The third Tuesday, we're gonna be over on Nicole's YouTube channel talking about indie romance writers, and my list is very, very long. So we're gonna be talking about all the independent romance writers and all the love there. And this Tuesday is gonna be our first cozy mystery. I'm so excited.
Drum roll. Yeah.
First official co-hosting for the Cozy Mystery Book Club, and we're gonna have Anna Ross be one of our guests. I'm so excited to be able. I'm still emotional. I'm still trying to catch my breath and my words. I'm so excited to be able to have people in the book be our guest host every month. And so Anna is our first one. And so I'm so excited that I have my new co-host. I have Anna joining us. It's just going to be a great night. So I haven't read Live and Let Chai. That is our book for that, the fourth Tuesday there, Live and Let Chai. So lots going on this month.
Lots and lots of stuff going on. I have not read the Cozy Mystery book either, but I'm excited to read it because some wonderful, wonderful woman sent me a physical copy. I'm looking at you. So I'm really excited. And Live and Let Try is going to be on my channel.
I was going to say, those are all of our dates for this month, I'm pretty sure.
We got all the Tuesdays.
I know. We got it's literally just block off your Tuesdays. I like it.
Confetti falls in celebration. Yes. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I want, we got the giveaway for tonight, a giveaway coming up, and then we're going to have more giveaways for Cozy. I'm so excited on that. So lots going on. So lots to keep busy too. And that means I get lots in my life, which is always, exactly what I want and perfect. So all is good in my world.
I know. It's going to be great. Looking forward to Tuesdays. All week. But hashtag best way to spend a Tuesday.
For real. It's true. Best way to spend any day. That's yes. Those are all of the little details. Is there anything else you wanted to add, or anyone else wanted to comment, questions, queries, anything? Because I'm getting emotional and I'm going to have to go to sleep eventually. I'm my mascara is going to start to run very soon because I'm still on the verge of crying. And I'm still crying. But so next Tuesday movie, third Tuesday is going to be romance, and fourth Tuesday we're going to be getting cozy with our chai tea lattes and talking about living that chai. So lots to do. Lots and lots of wonderful things. Lots of giveaways. Wonderful woman. So generous. It's going to be amazing. It is my complete honor and pleasure. I'm so happy to be able to share the cozy and romance love. One of those things where I'm excited. I'm yes, I get to do this. I'm so excited to get to share that with people. So I'm looking forward to it, and I promise I'll go through the entries tonight from the live stream so someone can get their serious book. And that'll be so fun. So I'll be doing that. And I love everybody for watching, and you guys are amazing, and I am so appreciative. And I have the best co-host in the world, who's the best friend. She lifts me up when I am down, and she's there for me when I'm happy, laugh, cry, everything. She's my person. So I'm so happy that I get to do this with her, and you guys get to join us and take part in this just romance fest talking about books. So just a great night. Yes, we have to have our chai tea latte. Yes, we do. That's a thing. It's a thing.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We love you so much.
I know. Thank you for joining, everybody. I will go through the I'll be going through all of the comments, and then I will post the winner over on Twitter, and I will hopefully be able, hopefully everybody who's here has either Twitter or Instagram, so I can DM you to let you know if you won. So hopefully,
hello.
hi. Just as we're signing off, I'm like, yes, right under the goop. See, like, we got an entry right now. See, you're entered to win. But thank you guys for watching. You guys are so sweet. I'm so happy that I get to do this with my best friend, and I'm so honored that you guys are with us. So thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a great night.